So when I was talking about last episode of that this is going to be a serious episode, how we always got like those comedy episodes and everything like that. Definitely a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but definitely some shit happened this episode. So let's get right to it. Yo, what's up guys? It is Ranger Flame and welcome everyone to Black Clover episode 9 right here. As you guys know from, this episode right here, it's getting to a serious standpoint. There's going to be some parts, in Black Clover of, maybe people dying. It's going to get more to like serious, more to, the comedy side in that. And we get at this episode right here. So let's start this off. But this episode first, we start off, from like last episode, Magna, Asta, and Noelle's mission is to go to this village to kill some boars that are kind of not really particularly threatening, but there's some pretty big boars that they have to kill from the mayor because of course Magna and Yami lost a bet to him, so he asked them, the Black Bulls, to kill these boars off. They know that they did their job correctly, and we kind of get that this episode right here, which I was kind of mad about this episode. The first half right here, kind of, it was more of the first half being filler and then the other half being the serious, main thing that everyone wants to watch. And I was kind of mad about that because I thought it'd be like, a serious episode, throughout the whole thing, but we didn't get that. What I mean is, the first half of this episode, I thought it was going to start off of, we see, Magna, Noelle, and Asta taking care of the boars, them dragging over to the village, and then we get more of the serious part. It was kind of not that really. Really, we start off with the episode of Asta getting chased by the boar, and these are some pretty big boars. These boars are a lot bigger than we get to see, those men in that ice dude get to take care of. There's a lot more stronger. They have this like kind of flame magic around them, and they're chasing Asta down because really he's the only one that can take care of them right now since Noelle can't control her magic, and Magna is kind of out of magic because, he brought Noelle and Asta to this village. He had to use, his magic for his broom the whole journey, so he's just chilling there. And with this episode, it was kind of a lot of people are putting it filler, and I guess it was kind of filler just because I think 10 minutes of that episode we just see Asta running and screaming, saying that they're big boars, and I was not really a big fan of that. I wasn't. I thought it was gonna go straight to the point this episode, but with it was kind of boring to me a little bit. It was just kind of them hunting the boars a little bit, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and I just wasn't a big fan of it too, really. I thought they were gonna maybe put maybe 5 minutes into it, but it was a lot longer than I expected, and I kind of disliked that. Afterwards, when Asta gets all the boars done, him, Magna, and Noelle drag the boars to the village, and I felt like this was going to happen just because, gain more character development into this story, because it's kind of a big cast, and I feel like, each episode, coming forth, there's going to be an episode of where we get to see backstories of these characters, like the Black Bull members, or maybe other members out of the Black Bulls, but we get Magna's shot here today, and he's kind of talking about, his past before he came into the Black Bulls. Before, he got into the Black Bulls, he's telling Asta and Noelle the story of, him being, a little runt, him kind of terrorizing the village, playing some pranks and all that. It was kind of reminding me of Naruto for a little bit, always pranking, the village, to get attention for himself, and that's kind of what Magna was, and the mayor was always stopping him each and forth because, he's just destroying everything with his fire magic. So we kind of see, like I said, a backstory of Magna before he went to the Black Bulls, what kind of person he was, before going into it. So we get to see him, terrorizing, pranking the village, whatever you want to call it. The mayor always stopping him, and he's always telling, about the mayor, the guy that he lost the poker game with, that he's kind of like a father figure to him, just because, his magic and how to be a man, he was taught that by the mayor. And, we finally see this shot right here, which, it actually reminded me a little bit of Nash, the little ginger kid that, and Asta grew up with. It kind of reminded me of this part because, I think it was in episode 2, I believe, Nash was talking to Asta about, that you can't become a magic knight because you're from the boonies, and, Magna was saying that as well, to the mayor, and the mayor was like, it doesn't matter who you are, prove to people that you could become something. And that was kind of like an Asta Nash, but except it was Magna and the mayor, so we kind of already seen that part already. But it's kind of cool, we get a little backstory of Magna, we get to know more about him, what kind of person he is, if you like or dislike him as a character in the show. Personally, I still like him, and I will, because he is a badass character. But now we get to the serious part. This is the halfway part of Black Clover that a lot of people, including me, are very excited for. We get to this point of Magna, Asta, and Noelle seeing the village covered in mist right here. This is from one of those, kind of Goonies we saw last episode of them looking for a magic stone. The village is covered in mist right here. If you go in it, you'll be lost in the mist. Like, you can't get out of the village. Just what kind of magic it is. So they go in there. Asta, of course, you can't go in there by itself, because if you go into the mist, you'd be on the other side of the village, like you're going out of the village. So of course they can get in there with Asta's sword, because it can cut through magic. So they're cutting all the way through until they get to the square. Square right here, this is where stuff happens. This is where shit happens right here. We see all the villagers lined up. They're all injured, including kids. And then we see the mayor right here, which I was kind of scared about. It's been a while since I kind of read the manga, but we see him, he's bleeding right here. I thought for a second he was dead, but really he's just passed out. Of course, Magna is really pissed at this. The villagers are trying to, get some help right here. They want Asta, Noelle, and of course Magna to help them out, which they do. And then we get to interact with, the 4 bad guys in the series, including the ice dude, which has these ice particles around them, so they could drop onto them. And of course, Magna destroys it in one fire blast, which is pretty cool. Even though that his magic is about to run out, he still has a lot of magic because he wants to protect these people. So then we get a little backstory of, kind of the ice dude and why they're here and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. And he's kind of giving, shit to the Black Bulls, because it's like, it doesn't matter, you're on a mission right here, you don't really care about these people. And Asta really feels connected to these people right here, because they are from the boonies. Asta grew up in a village where, people don't respect you, and that you have to work hard and succeed to get to the top, which of course we saw Asta and, do. That's kind of the point of Black Clover. But Asta really feels connected to these people, and no matter what, he's not going to run away. He's going to protect these people all his life, and so is Magna, because Magna, to be honest with you, this is kind of his family a little bit. This is the people that he grew up with, so he's going to put all of his power into getting this. So, a fight is going on right here. It's back and forth. This guy using his ice ability. Asta's cutting through his magic. Magna's using his fire magic right here. And a little cool part right here, which we get to see the best girl in the anime, in my opinion. We get to see her unveil a new magic ability right here. She's talking like a little backstory that she's royalty. She's kind of scared, thinking that if she's going to run away or not. And then the little girl is asking for help. And this kind of sparks like a heroic for, Noelle right here. She's not afraid of kind of anything anymore. She knows that no matter if she dies here, she's going to protect these people. And her grimoire opens up and she gets a new spell right here, which is cool, because we know of Noelle so far that she can't control her magic. And suddenly she makes this water shield that she could actually control, and it's actually protecting the citizens from the ice abilities right here. They can't get through it at all. And it's kind of cool, because now we're seeing a little bit of character development from Noelle now. She could actually use a magic ability that she could control and save people with. So, and then of course we have Asta and Magna are going to go for the enemy and next episode right here. But that's the episode in general right there. So we got a little bit of filler and more of the serious note of this episode. But I still feel like it's great. It's definitely building up to a more serious part in the anime than it is of, comedy and everything. But in my opinion though, it was still a good episode. The only thing I could dislike with this episode here is kind of the filler parts in the first half. I felt like with, the first part, it shouldn't take that long. I felt like it should have been like a 3-minute thing or whatever, and then moved on more, because I'll be honest, when it got to, the final, segment of the episode, it was really getting good. I don't know, maybe that's just me, like action and all that stuff, but it seriously was badass, and I was a really big fan of it. But with this episode here today, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, just beating last episode by 0.5. It's just because the filler a little bit, it just got to me. I felt like the serious part of this episode got more into the rating here, just because of it being different from any other episode of Black Clover here so far. But the filler just killed me. That's kind of why I had to drop it down right here. But either than that, it was still a good episode. I enjoyed it, and I'm excited more for next week. I hope you guys all enjoyed my review right here. Thank you guys all for watching. Every Tuesday, a new episode of Black Clover comes out. But much love, guys. Thank you all for the support. Hope you all have a fantastic day. And this is Flame, guys, and I'm out. Have a good day. Peace.